All right, it is Tuesday, and you know what that means. A new episode of Dragula has come out. So we're going to go over this episode. It's episode number 4. It is The Monsters of Rock. All right, I can pick that off. I hope you can still hear me. All right, so let's get to it. So the episode comes in, and Boulets are walking through like this kind of haunted house deal, and they come all the way up, and they're saying how it's this season, it's halfway over, and a lot of the girls are performing up to standard, and some of the girls are just kind of lingering on the fence a little bit. So the day begins. They come into the workroom, and look at this fabulous hat that Neo is wearing. Okay. And then we come over, and they're all discussing about who they thought went home and who they thought is going to stay. And a lot of people thought that Santana was beautiful, but she had like felt defeated. So that's why she probably was going to be sent home because, she had kind of wanted to leave anyhow. And then, they're waiting for Savannah. They're waiting for either Gotix or Anna to come back to see which one of them remained. And they congratulate JK because he has won a challenge. He's won. So now the challenge goes. The first win went to Neo Huru. The second win went to Throb Zombie. And now the third win goes to JK. And everybody else is just still, trying to get in there. But then they discuss about how did somebody throw a drink in his face? Because at first I thought somebody had spit in his face. But oh no, somebody had just threw a drink in it. So this I wonder if I can let this play just a little bit. They won't go too crazy about that. I'm not going to turn the volume on, so we're going to see. Okay, so back to the breakdown. So it looked like somebody had threw a drink in his face, and they did. And guess who it was? It was Orgotix. And speaking of Orgotix, yeah, deja vu happening all over again because Neo and Orgotix, as I guess, they have some sort of a entanglement, a relationship. Yep, see, he poured that drink on him. hmm All right, but anyways, they come in and they kind of make it known that they're an item, and they're so happy to see each other. They're a cute couple, though. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I like them better than Hoso and Esther Develia. And I forgot the other one's name. That is so terrible. The blonde. It'll come to me in the middle of the night. I'll just wake up and remember her name. So like they did this like little montage where they're looking at each other and thinking about each other. Yeah, I see it going on over there. And it's like, okay, we get it. We get it. Y'all are a thing. All right, I don't want to let it play too much over there because the copyright people will come for me. All right, let's put it back up for a little while. All right, so they're all congratulating JK because he won and he's being super, super, I'm not going to say cocky about it, but he's like, I won. And then Blackberry and Fantasia kind of have a little side conversation about it, and I don't know. I think until you win a challenge, you really can't do too much critiquing. And then Anna comes back, so it was her. She was not eliminated. She comes back and she talks about what it was like to be in there with all of those rats. And they were nibbling on her and pissing on her, and it was just a terrible situation. And then the Boulets come on screen. And the thing I like about this season so far is they are actually introducing themselves. Okay. You see, I got to keep taking it away and putting it back because I don't want them to come for me. Because they're scary, aren't they? Look at them. Okay. So, yes, they come on stage and they announce that it is going to be their favorite challenge, the Monsters of Rock. And see how excited everybody is? Okay, let's fast forward this to try to keep it up about there. Right. So now they're letting them know what kind of challenge it's going to be. It's the Monsters of Rock challenge, which also means it is going to be a group performance. They are going to have to perform in groups. So, right away, everybody's a little nervous because sometimes performing in a group with other people and you don't know what their skill sets are, it's hard to, you do not want to go down with the ship because they might take you with them. So everybody immediately starts talking about how they don't want to be on a group with Anna. And it's like, what the devil? What do you mean you don't want to be in a group? And it gets into the point to where I see how they're all looking over there. They're immediately talking about who they don't want to be in a group with. It's really intense too. But meanwhile, this here, as you can see, stop it. Fantasia and Blackberry, they pull each other aside. They have a little conversation about what it's like to be Black in the LGBT community. And Fantasia lets everybody know, well, everybody that's watching, but she's having a conversation with Blackberry, that she actually had a little entanglement with the law where she was I guess I got in trouble for writing a bad check when she was in her early 20s. And I mean, like, who hasn't written a bad check when they're in their early 20s? I remember, like, a few days before Hurricane Katrina, when I lived in Louisiana, I had wrote a bad check because it was like, look, I just really need this shit. Yes. So it happens. But considering, I guess, what kind of check it was, I mean, I just wrote a little check in Piggly Wiggly. We don't know what she did, but she wrote a check and she got in trouble. And she was actually kind of on the run a little bit for like 7 years. So it's a very pointed conversation. And they talk about how important it is to have ladies of color represented. You know what it's giving? It's giving the exact same conversation between Saint and Coco. When they were like, oh, we need each other. Same conversation. All right. So we get back into the workroom. Everybody is super excited. They're talking about who they do and don't want on the challenges. And then this is where it gets real because at this point, Anna gets a little tired of everybody calling her meek and quiet. And she's like, I can be snappy and snooty too. So she kind of reads them a little bit. It was good. Like, I'm here for the reads. I am all about the reads. Okay. So Throb Zombie is being nostalgic and thinking about, what her character is going to be because she knows that this is one of Boulet's favorite challenge. But then this happens. Somehow, Cynthia Daw, right here, has been able to claw her way into JK's psyche. And they have a little heart to heart. And she even calls him out on his name. Like, the name JK means just kidding. And it's like, you may pretend like it's all jokes and laughs, but I know somewhere in there are feelings. And it was touching. Like, a few tears rolled out of his eyes. So yeah, it was a touching moment, and I was surprising. Cynthia keeps surprising me, honestly. She really does. Because I said she was Dahlia Black 2.0, but Dahlia Black didn't have that much personality. All right. So yes, this is where they're talking, and he's like, "I've had to hide myself." Oh, this is sad. Okay, so then they come out. I didn't even say this part. The Boulets have let them know that the fright feat this week, because it has been broken up into two sections, the fright feat this week will be a sudden death round, to where they are going to just eliminate somebody on the spot. So instead of doing the floor show and the what was it? Before, instead of doing the floor show and the rock song all in one challenge, they're gonna do just the floor show today, and they're gonna do the rock show next week. So somebody who floor show is not up to par is gonna get eliminated. So it's like two eliminations for one challenge, really. All right. So they come out, and as you can see, they're always dressed so badass. And I kind of let me blow this up so we can see. Stop this. Come over here. Blow this up for a moment. Okay, and they're kind of badass. If you notice, their wigs are a little different this time. And the thing that I like is they're introducing each other. We all know what the Boulet's name is, but I guess for people who don't know what it is, the shorter one, the cute little sweet one, is Swantula, and the very business-minded, orientated, left-handed version is Dragmorta. And they're so dope. This is season 5. If you don't know, catch up. Okay, so Yep, they're doing their thing. They're introducing each other. It's delicious. These shoes. Okay, I could have did a segment alone about these shoes, but I don't think I took a picture of them. But we'll go back and watch them. See, they're introducing each other. The first time I saw them do that. And like I said in episode 1, I am so glad that Swantula is not fucking around with those. But Swantula and Dragmotor are not messing around with those face fillers, because I swear, in season 4, Jack had face fillers in his chin and his lips and maybe even his cheekbones, and I didn't like it. All right. So we let it play a little bit more. All right. So this surprised me. Guess who this is right here? Her. This is her. Her. Anaphylactic. This is her look for the Rocker Monsters of Rock floor show, and she kind of kills it. Okay, and this is Blackberry. Oh, it's so dope that they're coming up while I'm talking about them. This is gonna get so many copyright strikes. I might have to burn this computer afterward. Okay, so this is Blackberry, and she ate, baby. Okay, she's not wearing a wig. It's still her bald head, because I think she said she was sweating and she had like a mohawk thing she wanted to do, but it didn't pan out. All right, and this is Neo Huru. She comes out, and when I tell you, see this shit right here, let's blow it up. This sword thing. Wait, now we can't see it. This in her hand is like, I think it, to me, it looks like one of those Kill Bill swords. And it reminded me of Coco Kane and the Titan season where they were doing the Dungeons and Dragons, and she had that big hammer thing. And I think Hoso had got hurt a little bit with that on accident during that challenge. And it's like, if they don't stop using real weapons in this show. All right. And this here is a little comical. This, can I make this bigger? Yeah. There we go. All right. This here is Jarvis Hammer. And I just was not a fan of this look. And somebody like made a sly remark and called her Dr. Seuss. And you know what? She do look like Dr. Seuss in thing 1 and thing 2. But I still don't know what this was supposed to be. This here. This one here is Fantasia. And I really like the way she got the girls up in this like bodysuit. It's like made out of mesh. All right, I gotta keep it moving around so it's not too much copywriting. You see, I ain't putting no volume on it because look, we already in trouble. All right, so we're gonna keep going through the picture. So JK comes out, and I I think this outfit looked good on his body, but I don't think it was a Monsters of Rock outfit. But this right here, this little obnoxious, I get some water. This little obnoxious shit, or Gotis comes out, and he just kind of kills it. See the sword? Doesn't look like one of those Kill Bill swords. Mm-hmm. He's been killing it. She's been killing it. I like those ponytails too. All right, so let's keep going. Let's stop it again for a minute. All right, so everybody's coming out, and next up is Cynthia Daw. And then we might have to play it because we didn't get to see Cynthia Daw because I skipped over that part. But then Throb Zombie comes out. We're going to go straight into her part. And she's doing like this Elvis thing. And I'm here for it. But the Boule says that they think she had too many props because she was doing like this hip thrusting thing. But I think, wasn't Elvis famous for like thrusting his hips and all of that? Look at Fantasia. She's killing it. Bongos. The Cardi B song Bongos. Okay, first of all, that damn Paint the Town Red song by Doja Cat has been living free, rent free in my head for the past like 36 hours. She's a devil. She's a bad little bitch. She's a rebel. I'd rather be famous instead. Yeah, it's stuck in my head. I can't get it out. All right. So, anyways, yes. Orgotix comes out, and I like the headgear. It was made out of those pool noodle things, like those foam pool noodles. And look at those shoes though. Look at those shoes. They're not practical. Where? Go back so we can see the shoes again. They're not practical. They're way too big. To me, this outfit was a little do it yourself, a little too much do it yourself. But these boots that Cynthia Daw has on, okay, she is not here to play around. All right, let's keep going. Yep, so this is we just saw Urgo text when he comes out. And then we go into the judging, and they're pretending not to know who they're gonna eliminate. But we all know that they know who's gonna be eliminated. As I predicted last night, it was gonna be between, in my mind, either Anaphylactic or Jarvis Hammer was gonna go home, because I still don't know what the hell Jarvis is. Like, is he a ghost or a politician? It's just, I need to know more about that character. And that they read that Dr. Seuss, okay? But then they also award winners. And that's the thing too. If you win, you get to be like the lead, like, the band leader in your group. Yeah, see that humping? They did not like the humping. I mean, they liked it, the humping, but they said it was a lot of you know, gabs, gifts and gabs and stuff. So that whole thing. All right, so they're judging everybody, and they kind of breed JK. See, because his tiara falls off like that, he breaks it and tries to keep going, but the moment was ruined. So I'm gonna tell you right now the winners. It was some top looks tonight, and Fantasia was awarded because, of course, that thing when she pulled off that wig and the glitter. Here she is right here. She had the glitter under the wig. That was a top look. Or Goldix with these sponge horns. That was a top look. Neo was a top look. Blackberry was a good look, but wasn't a top look. It's a good look, but it wasn't a top look. Throb Zombie had a good look, but it wasn't a top look. And wouldn't you know, Fantasia Royale and Orgotix end up being the band leaders, and then they get broken up into groups. So yeah, Orgotix is a band leader and Fantasia Royale is a band leader. Look how fabulously excited she is. Because these is like winning a challenge. So now we will have challenge winners as Neo Huru, Throb Zombie, JK, and now Fantasia and possibly Orgotix are winners too now. And they get to be, the team captains. And they split them off into groups. But right here, they are letting Jarvis Hammer and JK know that they were in the bottom two in the sudden death round. Is going to come up and they have to lip sync on the spot right now. Do you remember how, like, on RuPaul's Drag Race, where they would make them lip sync for the death? They have to do that. So they perform to this show, and it's all right. It's all right. But they're both a little nervous. They're both a little nervous. But JK sucks it up, and he's here to perform. He's already cried, so what else can go wrong? He's gonna leave it all on the floor. And as you can see, look at those feet. They're blurred out because he is serving it. Okay, Jarvis is, again. What are we doing? What are we doing? I you know what? We gotta just let people live their lives the way they want to. They went at it, y'all. I'm gonna try to let it play a little bit again. This is where they're getting judged and da 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 da. And they're nervous, so they're serving it up, and everybody's commenting on how JK's, he used that whole stage. When I tell you he danced from one end to the other, at some point he gave everybody the finger. It was so freaking awesome. So they go through the whole thing. Let me stop it too much. And as you can see, he left nothing. He left absolutely nothing for Jarvis to do. What could you do? Look at those fucking cakes. What else could you do? And of course, she learns her fate that she has to go. So it's sad, but Jarvis, you don't belong here. You're just a normal person. You're a normal person. These are monsters. That's a monster. Look at Orgotics. You cannot compete with that. I mean, you can, but you're gonna have to get dirty. You have to get real dirty. All right, so then they get split up into the groups. And as you can see, this group leader is Fantasia, and her group is comprised of Neohuru, Anaphylactic, and Blackberry. And of course, the Boulets is listening and heard who doesn't want to be on groups with who and put them on those groups together to cause more friction because friction is fun. And the other group is going to be led by Orgotix, and his band members are going to be Cynthia Daw, Throb Zombie, and JK. These two are currently having they're not seeing eye to eye right now. But at least JK and Cynthia Daw will be on the same team, so they kind of be all right. So then this is the scene, the scene where the Boulets come out and kill everybody. They start filming as soon as Jarvis Hammer comes off the stage. And they're back into like that kind of creepy house that they started out in. And she's just walking around. It's a bunch of suspicious, creepy stuff going on. And then they kill her. That's it. They kill her. All right. So let's go over here. Let's jump on Instagram and see what they doing. Okay. So yes, here we have JK immediately on. Look, when I tell you he lip synced for his life, baby, he was doing it. All right, I want to see Jarvis Hammer. And this is Satana. She was eliminated last week, and she was so beautiful. Like the Boulets were saying, if you're too beautiful or too talented, people will not like you. I wanted to see if I can find a way to get back to it. I was looking for Jarvis's page. Okay, go back up. We're going to go in through Santana's page. All right. She had some good looks. All right. I guess this would have been her Monsters of Rock outfit. Because, they do that thing to where they, you can't talk about like when you get eliminated. But after you get eliminated, I like the way they always come on here and show you what their look would have been. Wait, who is, that's Onyx. And he got eliminated first. I guess this would have been his Monsters of Rock look. Okay, Onyx, you're serving it. Serving it, baby. Or Gotex. I wanted to get to Jarvis's page. Hoso Teratoma. She was so close to winning. But in her season, Dolly won. Yep. All right. You're going to have to find Jarvis Hammer's Instagram page on your own. I got things to do. But come back next week for more Dragula.